Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we're looking at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and trying to look for an angle to the race that might be a path to finding the winner. Well, Saturday racing this week in Hong Kong, a mix of dirt and turf racing. And the first race I'm going to look at is race 6, where our winning factor is the conversion rate. So this is class 4, 1400 metres, and I think there might be a case made for Beauty Glory from a better draw. Zach Purton's mount, Better and Better, has disappointed a touch so far but does have ability. But I'm keen to focus on the last start class 5 winner Fight Time, back up to class 4, and the ultra consistent but still a maiden Alan Aitken. So Fight Time won first up this season. It was his breakthrough win in Hong Kong, and let's take a look at how he did it. This is race 20, green and white colours, gate 13 here, and Fight Time is one of the best away, with rider Brittany Wong sending him along and looking to get across and forward, but to no avail. He doesn't quite have that sort of speed and ultimately has to settle for sitting just off the pace, but wide and running into the breeze. Now that is not normally a winning recipe, and he's out there all the way until the home straight, but when he issues his challenge, Fight Time digs in, lives right up to his name, fighting hard, and proves just too tough when the chips are down in the final stages. So that was the breakthrough win for Fight Time. He did it the hard way, sitting wide, and that certainly adds merit to the win, although it is worth noting that most of his best runs in Hong Kong Fight Time have been when he has been caught wide, so maybe he likes to get plenty of room, and an inside draw for him on Saturday might not be the blessing that it looks at first glance. Meanwhile, Alan Aitken, well, he spent pretty much all of last season battling with wide draws and was unlucky on many occasions. And finally, at the end of the season, he did get a couple of decent barriers, and still things didn't quite work out perfectly for him. So let's have a look at his final offering of last season in July. And this was race 832. He's in barrier 7 here with orange colours. And Alan Aitken, well, didn't help himself much here by being slow to jump. And he spent most of the race therefore towards the tail of the field, albeit the heat map shows he did have a good pace up front to assist horses running on. Now, rounding the home turn, Alexi Bedell attempts to get going wide on Alan Aitken to get him into the race, and he does finish off well as usual, but the winner, Happy Universe, has been up 5 or 6 lengths in front of him in yellow colours for most of the race, and the gap between them proves just too much for Alan Aitken to overcome. Now, keen observers of Alan Aitken will note that they've seen that movie before. Alan Aitken, as I said, had wide gates for most of his 12 runs last season, and he was always looking unlucky as a result. And you see there, even when he got a reasonable gate in his final run in gate 7, he still ended up having to come around the entire field on the home turn, so things didn't quite work out. As a result, he's now had 13 starts for 8 placings. He's been very consistent, and I'm sure his turn will come, and particularly in the hands of his trainer, Ricky Yu. So this graphic shows us conversion rates, and when we talk about conversion rates, we're talking about how trainers perform with horses who've been hitting the crossbar in football terms. 2nd, 3rd, 4th last start, ready to win, and here are the top 10 trainers in Hong Kong at getting them to convert that to a victory, ranked by their advantage over market expectations. And as you see, Ricky Yu right up there, a long way ahead of the market at these horses converting near misses into winners over the last 5 years. Now, all the same, he doesn't have a great early speed, this horse, but I think when we look at the map for Saturday's race, the pace looks pretty genuine. Inside, we have a regular on-pace runner in Beauty Glory, this time from an inside draw, a likely leader, and there is other speed around him, so it looks genuine enough without being frantic. But right on the outside, Fit for Beauty from the John Size Yard showed terrific speed from a wide gate at his 1200 metre debut to be up with the lead. He did get caught wide, had a tough run there and finished out of the placings. And the draw does him no favours again. But he does have speed, he's up 200 metres in distance, and if he's positive once again, he'll add to the tempo. As I said, Alan Aitken doesn't have the greatest early speed, but a clean break this time, and he might get into midfield, giving a start most likely to his major threat fight time, but close enough to make his good finishing speed count. So the tip from me in race 6, Alan Aitken, his winning factor, the conversion rate. His trainer, Ricky Yu, is our best trainer at getting horses who are knocking on the door to actually open it and go through it. It's fair to say that with 8 placings from 13 starts, Alan Aitken has tested even Ricky's skills. But I think his turn is coming, and Saturday looks a great setup for this to be the moment. The other race I want to look at for Saturday is race 9, and our winning factor here, the up-and-comer. So this is Class 3, 1200 metres, and while a promising Bulb General does stand out as the likely favourite, this is pretty competitive, and I'd give serious winning chances to the likely leaders, Jumbo Treasure and Lopan Spirit. Lucky 8 gets a sweet map. Beauty Infinity now with the all-conquering Brett Crawford yard, and comes to Sha Tin for the first time, and even Technical Command down in the weights will have fans. So this is not a walkover by any means, but I'm still keen on the chances of Bulb General. Now, he's only had a few runs. He was very impressive winning his maiden at the end of last season. And then on September the 7th, he returned to racing with a Class 3 victory on opening day. This is race 9, gate 8, orange colours, and after we'd seen him get well back in the field at his first 2 starts, Bulb General showed another string to his bow here as Zac Burton bounced him out early and put him into the race before eventually letting him settle down several lengths off the back of the front runners in a genuine speed. Now, he does get a great run here, and when Burton is ready to go, Bulb General just ambles up, shows that good turn of acceleration again to put them away quickly, and then Zac just lets him coast to the line. Now, I did like seeing Zac ask that of the horse in the early stages. His first 2 starts, he got a long way back and run on brilliantly, but it's nice to know that he has that versatility, because the races don't get any easier as he climbs the ladder. And on Saturday, he's going to face a tougher field. He has more weight, and he goes back to an outside draw. So there are a few obstacles to him, and I certainly don't think that he'll be odds on again in Saturday's race. When we look at the map, well, we do have Jumbo Treasure, who likes to lead. He might just be a bit sharper than the other regular leader, Lopan Spirit, but Lucky 8 also has the pace to use his inside draw and sit just behind the leaders. The pace looks sound enough, neither too fast nor too slow. While we saw Zac get into a great spot last time as the field opened up early, well, and Burton does have a gift for doing that, he might be forced a little further back in the field this time from the wider draw, and the way that we did see this horse perform previously in Class 4 from the back of the field. And that map is the reason that I thought his main opposition here might be the very experienced, battle-hardened 7-year-old Lucky 8, who in fact his last win was on this meeting a year ago. So he looks just about due for another one, judging by his first up performance. This is race 25, he's in gate 2, orange and brown colours, and Lucky 8 jumps well. He's just not quick enough over the 1,000 metres to be near the leaders, and he sits back in midfield, but over towards the centre of the course, which is not very often any advantage down the straight. The winner is away and gone down the outside rail, but watches Lucky 8 continues to apply himself well to run on into 4th. So he's not unlucky there, but I did like the way that he handled the whole thing, and he's better suited from a low draw, 1,200 metres, and he's a very experienced, consistent old gelding who is going to be a good test for Bulb General nevertheless. But the tip from me in race 9 is Bulb General, his winning factor, the up-and-comer. He is the most promising horse in the field and one of the promising horses in Hong Kong. Now, he was odds on last time. I don't expect that to be the case on Saturday. It's a better field, he's up in weights, he's drawn wider. There are a few reasons why things could turn pear-shaped for this young horse at this stage. But I also think that he's got some qualities that usually the hallmarks of horses going somewhere, and his acceleration is the thing that can get him out of trouble here if he gets into any. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Saturday. We'll see you next time.